Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be looking at IP address configuration. Now we're going to be looking at two types of configuration: the automatically obtained IP address and DNS, and the statically configured DNS and IP address. Okay, so I'll be using two types of routers for this demonstration. So here with me, I have an Airtel router, and the second demonstration will be on Cisco packet tracer using a Cisco router. So the Airtel router I'm going to show you in a minute. In this router, I'm going to be setting up a DHCP pool so that my system can pick an IP address automatically from that router. While in the packet tracer simulator, I'm going to be using a Cisco router. Remember, the exact configuration I'm going to be doing on Cisco packet tracer, you can apply it on real device. The only difference is that you're going to be connecting your system to the router using a console cable. Otherwise, every other configuration is the same. So when you connect your system to a Cisco router using a console cable, you can run a software like PuTTY to enter into the command line interface of your router and do the exact same configuration. Before I proceed, if you like the kind of video I'm dropping on this channel and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit on the subscription button. And also, if you enjoy any of my videos, please give it a like. So I'll be doing a voiceover on this video. I recorded it earlier before this. So this is the Airtel router I'm going to be using. So that is the Ethernet port, right? So I'm going to be connecting it using this cable. So I'm going to be connecting the router and my system using this Ethernet cable. So I'm going to be connecting one of the end to the router, and also once I'm done, I'm going to power up the Airtel router, as you can see. All right. So the second end of the cable will be going to the NIC of my computer, which I have over there. Okay, so the second end will be plugged in to the NIC port of the computer, and that is all about the connection. Okay, one more thing I want to show you guys is that you can use switch. You can use switch to connect your router to your system. Okay, the essence of the switch is if in case you have many devices, many hosts, many computers you want to connect to the router, so you can use the switch to loop the devices. Okay, so this is the switch I have here. So your connection will be from the router to the switch, then from the switch to all the devices. All right, or you can do just router directly to your computer. All right, let's continue. So after you might have connected the router, this symbol here is going to change. Okay, so it's still identifying the network. Okay, so once we are done, our PC is now connected to the router. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to come back to, now let me show you how I get to this part. Okay, so just close everything. All right, so from here, from this symbol here, right click on open network and internet settings. Okay, so from here, come down to Ethernet. Remember, we are connected through Ethernet. If you are connected through Wi-Fi, you will go through the Wi-Fi part. Okay, so because we are connected through Ethernet, we're going to click on it. Click on change adapter options. Okay, so remember we have different adapters here. We have the wireless, we have the Bluetooth, and we have two Ethernet adapter. Okay, but this is the one we are connected to, so always take note of that. Okay, this is the one we are connected to. Assuming our system is connected through wireless, then this should be active. All right, so right click on this and go to properties. Now if you check the status details, we'll see that we are having an IP address here, right? So that means it's already collecting IP address automatically from the router. We're going to see how to do that configuration. So close this, come to properties. Okay, go down to Internet Protocol version 4. So let's start by seeing how we can set a static IP address on our system before we can go to the advanced one, which is creating a DHCP server on our router. Okay, so setting an IP address statically on your system is very simple. Okay, and also the reason why we do this is if you have multiple systems, it is easier to identify which PC has a particular IP address. Okay, unlike when you set it automatically. When you set your system to receive IP address automatically from your DHCP server, you might not know which particular system has which particular IP address. Okay, except you use the troubleshooting tool like ipconfig to get the IP address of that system. Okay, but if you are statically assigning IP address to all the whole PC, you can know that okay, PC1 has this IP address, PC2 have this IP address, PC3 has this IP address. And also it helps in limiting IP address conflicts on your network. All right, now remember, both the automatically assigned IP address and the static assigned IP address has their advantage and disadvantages. So once you are given an IP address and you are done with your subnetting and you have specified your IP address range, you can now start giving it statically to your systems. Okay, so example is this: if I have this IP address in my range 192.168.2.4, I can give it a subnet mask, maybe 255.255.255.0. Okay, and a gateway. Remember, the gateway is always the IP address of your router. Okay, the gateway is always the IP address of your router. So maybe our router IP address is 192.168.1.1. okay, then you can give it a preferred DNS. Okay, DNS, you can use Google DNS, or if you have your own DNS server, you can give it the IP address of your DNS server, or you can give it your default gateway. Okay, so you can still repeat this IP address here. All right, well, let's use Google DNS. So 8.8.8.8. all right, here we can use this optional. Okay, you don't really need it. Okay, but if you want to still give a DNS here, you can, but you don't really need it. It is optional. Okay, so once you are done, you click on OK. So the question most of you might be asking is, how do I know the IP address of my Airtel router? So whenever I buy any of these ISP routers or maybe any random routers from the store, it comes with a default IP address. So that default IP address is the gateway of that router. Remember, you can change it. All right, so let's see example of this Airtel. So if you don't know default IP address, you can either get it from their website or some will be written on the manual that came with the router. All right, so and if you want to confirm if that is the IP address, connect the router to your system and go to your search engine and type in the IP address. So once you type in the IP address, click on enter. So if it pops up this interface or any of their interface, then that means it is the IP address. Okay, so that will be your gateway. Remember, like I said, you can always change the default IP address that came with the router. So this is how you can assign a static IP address to your system. So if I click on OK, the default gateway is not the okay. So sorry, we made a mistake. So this must be on the same network. Okay, so this must be on the same network. Okay, 1 dot. So if our router default IP was 2 dot or maybe 3 dot or whatever, or if you have changed it to your preferred network, then you can apply that network here on the IP address. So once you are done, click on enter. Okay, then okay, so it has applied. So for us to confirm this, we need to come back to our main menu, right click there, go to command prompt. All right, click on ipconfig. So ipconfig is a troubleshooting tools we use to check the IP address on the interface of our device. So enter, and if you watch closely here, remember the adapter, right? If you watch closely here, we have this IP address applied here. statically. Okay, so we're looking at the automatic way of giving this system an IP address. Okay, so come back to this part. All right, let's right click, come to properties, click on your internet protocol. Okay, obtain IP address automatically. Okay, but before then, before we obtain IP address and DNS automatically, let's go back to our router. Okay, so this is our router. Login. So this is admin. Okay, admin. Password is admin. Remember, you can change all these settings to your preferred settings. Login. Okay, so come down to this part, DHCP. All right. Once you logged in, come back to this part, DHCP. Click on these settings up here. So click on it. All right. So click on DHCP. Now remember, DHCP server is disabled, so we're going to enable it. Okay. So once we enable it, so this is the DNS we're going to be giving to our system, and the DHCP pool. Let's configure it from, say, give IP address from 192.168.1.10 to 192.168.1.20. Okay, so the IP address range that our PC can receive automatically will be from 10 to 20. All right, so list time, you can configure it to be 24 hours or whatever hour you want. All right, so don't be in a haste to stop watching. The Cisco Packet Tracer DHCP IP pool configuration is more interesting and you're going to love it. So once you are done from here, click on apply. Click on yes to accept the device to restart. So once your device is done restarting, you can come back to your CMD and type in ipconfig again. Let's see if our IP address have changed and if our system is receiving IP address from that range. Okay, so from here you can click on yes. So it has not taken effect. Okay, sorry. Remember, we have not accepted this from here. Okay, we have not accepted this. Okay. All right, so identifying. Now let's try again. So ipconfig, enter. Now if you watch, our system have received IP address from that range from 10 to 20. So it's the PC received 1.14. Okay, so if I connect any other device to this router, it's going to give it an IP address that is not this, but still on that same IP pool from 10 to 20. Okay, so this is how you can automatically set an IP DHCP pool on your router and allow your system to receive IP address from that router. Okay, so next we'll be looking at how we can do this using Cisco Packet Tracer on Cisco routers. Okay, so first of all, open your Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, so we can disconnect this. We don't need it for now again. Okay, so disconnected. So once you are here, get any router at all. Let's use this router here. Okay, let's add a switch to this so that we can have multiple systems connected to it. So we can get switch from here. Where's our switch? Okay, we can get switches here. So let's use this switch and we can have multiple systems, maybe this PC, this laptop, and this laptop here. All right, so I'm going to be connecting this using a cable. I hope you remember the type of cable we have and which cable is used to connect what devices. Okay, so we have unlike and like devices. So you should know what cable to use to connect what device. I already have video on that. It's on my YouTube channel. You can watch that. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to activate this interface here. So what interface is this? So this is G0/0/0. Okay, so come to CLI, type in no here, so enter. If you don't know some of this command, I have a video on it. I'm going to drop the link on the description below so you can watch it. Okay, so I'm not going to be explaining some of them here. I've already done that in one of my videos. So interface G0/0/0. All right, no shutdown. Okay, so enter and it's up. Okay, so we can configure our DHCP pool here. So the first command, let's go back to the global configuration mode, exit. Okay, sorry I didn't explain what DHCP means. DHCP means dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay, so it is a protocol that allows you to assign IP address or to create a pool of IP address so that your devices can receive IP address automatically from that particular pool. All right, so that's what DHCP servers does. First of all, let's enable DHCP. So service DHCP, enter. All right, so DHCP pool, sorry, IP DHCP pool, so we can call it Nikitis. Okay, Nikitis IP, enter. We can say domain name. It's not really necessary, but you can just create a domain name. Domain name nikitis.com. Domain name. Okay, so remember the hyphen. So domain name nikitis.com. All right, so network. So what network do you want to give to your router? Okay, so network, you can say 192.168.1.0. Okay, so this .1.0 is /24. All right, remember you can use a class A, class B, or class C IP address. So I'm using a class C IP address here. So /24 is 255.255.255.0. all right, so once you are done, enter. All right, so default router. Now the default router, the default IP address of this interface, remember these systems will be pointing to a default router. Remember in our first video I explained that your router or the access for your devices to the network is the default IP address of your router. Okay, so that is the gateway. All right, so we need to give a default gateway here. So default router. So let's say 192.168.1.1. okay, so enter. Let's set a DNS server. So DNS server, let's give it our gateway 192.168.1.1. okay, remember we have not set the IP address of this interface, so the IP address will be the same as the default router here. Okay, so lease, lease, so we can say 9 dot, okay, 900. Let's try again. lease 900. Okay, let's try 7. Let's see if we have the option. Okay, it's not giving us option here to set lease. Okay, it's not giving us the option. Maybe this router doesn't have that. Okay, but your read device, you can have the option to set up the lease. Okay, remember lease when you want it to be leasing the IP addresses. All right, so from here what we need to do next is to give this interface an IP address. So exit to come back to this mode. So interface, let's check what interface is this. So hover on this, so G0/0/0. So interface so interface G0/0/0, enter IP address 192.168.1.1. remember your IP address here. Okay, so enter. Oh, sorry, subnet mask 255.255.255.0. remember there are other things you can do, like setting a kind of exclusion on some IP address. Okay, you can say in whatever IP address you're going to give to my devices, do not give it this IP address. Okay, so you can pick out some special IP addresses you want to give to special devices. Okay, maybe your server, your printer, so those IP addresses should not be given to the systems automatically. Okay, so for us to achieve this, we can do something like so we need to go back to the DHCP interface. So exit IP DHCP pool. Remember Nikitis, right? Nikitis IP. Okay, so if you forget, you can come back here. Nikitis IP. Okay, small letter. All right, enter. So we can do something like DHCP. Sorry. Can do something like IP DHCP exclude IP DHCP exclude -address. Okay, so we can exclude that gateway for now. We can do it in range, but now let's just focus on that gateway. So exclude 192.168.168.1.1. okay, so if there's any other IP address you want to exclude in range, you can give space and keep adding it. So I can just click on enter. Exclude. Am I making a mistake somewhere? Okay, please, excluded, not exclude, sorry. Excluded, yeah. Okay, so you can add other IP address like maybe 100. You can do it in range if you want to do that. Okay, so let's see this. Let's try this. Show IP DHCP pool. Nikitis IP. No such. Okay, Nikitis, we miss I. Sorry. All right, so this is the IP pool we have created. Okay, so if you watch the range from here, to here, so we excluded to, remember, excluded to IP address, and this is the IP range we have. Okay, so if we go back to our systems and see if we can obtain IP address automatically. Okay, see, if you watch closely here, we have obtained an IP address 192.168.1.2 and with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and we obtained this gateway, remember, the access to the internet and also the DNS server. So let's check that on any other system. Okay, so this was given 1.2. Let's check this. So this was given 1.4. okay, so any device at all you add to this router now. Okay, let's try something. Let's add a server. So if I add this server and I connect this server to this router and activate this port. Okay, no, instead of us to go through this process, let's add the server here and add it to, sorry, let me use this, and add it to the switch. Okay, so it will be more easier. This interface is already activated, so click on it and come to this part, obtain IP address automatically. So let's see if we can have that gateway here and the DNS server. Okay, let's do it from here. This is receiving, this is not receiving. Okay, let's go back and see. Okay, it's receiving from here, the gateway and the DNS server. Okay, and it has changed automatically. Okay, so it was taking its time to assign the IP address. So here has given the gateway, remember the gateway and the DNS server, and from here we can see the IP address. And from here we can see the IP address given to it. Okay, so this is how you can configure a DHCP pool on your Cisco router or any router at all. Okay, like I said, remember, this can also be applied on real devices. Okay, this is just a simulator, but if you have your Cisco router on site, all you need to do is to get a laptop, get a console cable, then get a software like PuTTY to run your configuration. Once you can use PuTTY to enter the interface of your router, the same configuration I showed you guys on this video can be applied and it will work perfectly. Thank you guys, that will be end for this video. If you learned anything from this video, please don't forget to give this video a like, and also if you have not subscribed to my channel and you enjoyed the kind of video I'm dropping on this channel, don't forget to hit the subscription button. See you guys in my next video.